Hey guys, and welcome to the death. Oh my god, oh my god, what is it called? Board game. Board game. I don't remember what it's called. But I tricked you. We're playing Inscryption. So here we go. We're starting a new run as the black goat deck. This is not from the beginning of the game. This is the roguelike version. The main game is a single player experience, and this is a roguelike deck builder. It's kind of like Slay the Spire, but like creepier. So yeah, what you do is you can trade these rabbit pelts for cards. We're gonna take the skink and the black goat. What the skink does is when he's about to take damage, he splits off and he creates a tail that'll tank damage for him. And what the black goat does is so every card in the top right, you'll see they have a blood symbol. That's how many sacrifices it takes to summon them. So 1 blood, you only have to sacrifice 1 card. You get squirrels that you can sacrifice. You can also sacrifice your big cards. The black goat is one of the cards that you can sacrifice, and I will show you here what our strategy is. So we'll place the skink across from the porcupine, and when he's about to take damage, boom, that's 2 cards that can be sacrificed for a value of 3 blood. So that stonks, and we're gonna kill that guy, the sparrow, and we'll probably just leave it as is. We don't really need to summon anything else. Yeah, our moose buck will take care of this. So yeah, this is the build that we're going with. This is just what we've got. Destroy the tree, and I believe next turn is lethal. No, actually it'll be just before lethal, which is good because any excess damage to the scale is converted into like a currency that you can use to buy cards. So yeah, the way damage works is on the board, enemies and plants that are directly across from you, they will take damage first. And then if nothing occupies the space directly across from you, then it will do damage to the scale. That's like doing damage to like face, like in Hearthstone or like stuff like that. So we're taking the ringworm. The ringworm is actually a bad item, but he has a secret where you can feed the ringworm to the campfire and it'll poison the campers, and then you could power up your enemies or your characters with no downsides. So since the mole is a 1-cost card, we're gonna give him the Sigil of Sacrifice as well. That'll probably be helpful. Might not, but it'll probably be helpful. I think we need more tankier cards, or more beefy cards like the moose buck that have a high cost to take advantage of all of these all the big sacrifices we can do. So turn 1, we can play the mole because he will not die. He'll be on 1 health, and then we can honestly sacrifice him next turn, so that we can put out the, what's it called? The big guy. Big man. We're going to put the skink across from the wolf cub, perhaps. Actually, I don't know how helpful that really is. We'll put it in this empty space, because he's going to take damage, and the wolf cub would power up and then destroy the tail. But we actually have such little damage. It's actually like really sad where our damage is at right now. We need more. We have a lot of like utility, but we don't have a lot of damage. The moose buck is hard carrying. We'll just block with the ringworm, because why not? Might as well min-max the damage we can get. Just one overflow. Not a ton, but we'll take it. We can go boulder. We can go card. I don't think we have enough to go in the middle where the trap is. This is like a mini game where normally in normal gameplay it's kind of like an escape room sort of deal. But there, you can see there was a beaver and I forget what the other animal was. But if you get those two animals and you place them on your board as shown in like that picture frame, then I think you unlock something. I don't know. I haven't done it yet, so I'm kind of vaguely working on that. What do we have? Mantis? Mantis could be helpful. So could Grizzly. We do need higher power cards. So maybe I'll take the Grizzly. I don't know. Another Skink could be really helpful as well, because we can give that a sigil that we can combine to make a super Skink. But I think I'm going to take Mantis and give that to our Moose Buck. We're going to power up our Moose Buck here. Especially because we're at like a sigil swap place. So we want a card that has a good sigil. Because we kind of... Our hand was kind of forced. We kind of had to sacrifice a card there. So yeah. Next encounter. We're skinked. The thing that sucks is that these enemies are flying, so they wouldn't attack any of our cards. But it doesn't really matter. We can still just sacrifice the default skink without letting it turn into... What's it called? It won't get its little tail out because it's not going to take any damage. But I think this should actually just end the combat instantly. Yeah, just 6 damage to the face because that sigil does damage to the left space, or the diagonal left and the diagonal right. So let's take another Moose Buck. That's actually pretty good. And also we have campfires back to back, so if we're going to sacrifice the ringworm, there's a chance that it doesn't get eaten by the campers, but it does happen, so we're actually in a really good position. Get the bones. Bones is a pretty useless item, but now we can freely, without worry, power up a card. Probably, I don't know. It could be helpful to give the mole some damage, but I think doing it to the Moose Buck makes the most sense. Just get all the damage we can. Just kind of... We're in a position where it's not unviable to totally bank on this Moose Buck. But now we're in a boss fight. This is the Prospector, I think. This guy's kind of annoying. This guy's kind of big annoying. We're going to play... I think... the Skink... So Skink versus Coyote, the tail would insta-die, so you wouldn't get the double benefit from the tail. But the mole doesn't do any damage, so it's still beneficial to do. Plus, we can still sacrifice the Skink to get the Moose Buck out there. So nothing ventured, nothing gained, really. And here we have our super Moose Buck, which is a little bit better. So now what position do we want to place it? We'll destroy the pack rat, get a bunch of cards, which will be nice to combine with our mole, because our mole can help summon something really good. And that's phase 1. Normally this phase takes a lot longer, but unfortunately we lose the Moose Buck like that, which really sucks, because he's kind of like our carry right now. But we got some good cards. We have the Tentacle Bell, which based on which position he is in determines how much power he has. How close he is to the bell means how much power he has. So right next to the bell gives him 4 attack damage, which is pretty crazy for a 2-cost card. Because I mean that our Moose Buck, you know, on default only has 1. Or it has 1 less damage. So yeah, we just kind of we kind of didn't have to sweat at all during this prospector boss fight, which is really helpful. Here, I don't really know what we want. We have Mole Man, which actually does not function. He's like cursed Mole Man. I don't know. He's weird. He like impersonates other cards, and then will pop out. You'll summon him by mistake, thinking he's something else, and then he'll pop out and he'll be like a 4/1 or something like that. In the last fight, I kind of wish that I just used all of my items, just because like the items I currently have on my left side or on the right side, I got the bone jar, the squirrel, and the pliers. Those are kind of not that great of items. But here we can duplicate a card. We could duplicate the Moose Buck and have like a 10-14 card, but I kind of feel like we're just going all in, so maybe we'll try and get as many sigils as possible for this guy. So I'm thinking about duplicating the normal Moose Buck. That way we can add 2 more sigils to it, because if a card has a sigil, which is like the glowing blue patch, you can't add another sigil unless you combine 2 cards that have sigils. You'll see at some point, I'm sure. So we're gonna get this Moose Buck going. So we're gonna try and combine into a Super Moose Buck. So Goobert actually kind of pogged off, and he gave us more attack damage. Because he'll never perfectly duplicate a card, but he'll just duplicate it, like, close enough. So Goobert real as fuck for that. Also, I did not mention, but we are doing a run where as you go through the roguelike version, the game gets harder because you are you're a gamer, and you add like challenge modifiers. Like I don't start with the hook item, which is like a really powerful item that lets you steal the enemy's card to your side. So you don't get that item. You have you could choose between a couple of these, but I chose to start every encounter with 1 damage dealt to me already, and then you can the trapper's trap, or the trapper's pelts, are more expensive. That is another modifier I have. So we're gonna use the skink to tank a hit from the elk, just to like buy us some time. If we want to, we could do it again, but we don't really need to. I believe this will follow the elk around, so we'll be able to kill this guy. We can also put out the mole because... Okay, that's what I'm talking about. I thought it was the mole, but it was actually the fraud. I think we'll still be okay. Yeah, we're still okay, because the mole tanked the hit. But I thought the alpha, what he does is he empowers the cards around him. So he's pretty powerful. What do we want to do? We'll be just at lethal. So I think if we draw... Okay, like two hits before lethal. I think we might as well take the squirrel out of the jar, because it's not super valuable. Or actually, we could... Maybe we'll just sacrifice the moose buck that's being blocked by the elk fawn, because it's not going to do damage to the face anyway. It's going to get tanked. Yeah, you end up taking your own tooth out and putting it on the scale. So now we're right before lethal. So this will be 7 damage of yeah, 7 extra damage. Yeah, we'll take the squirrel so that we can get some better items in our inventory. because those items are not that good. There's items that will let you skip the enemy's turn, just destroy your card on the enemy's side. You can put up blockers, stuff like that. So this one, we're gonna take the we're gonna go for the sigil one, because every single one of our card has sigils, and you draw 3 cards, so it's pretty guaranteed. I'm really not in love with any of these cards. I like Alpha in general because he empowers cards around him, so like cards that could be useless can become useful, but I don't know, it's kind of shit. We'll take the mole because we can combine our 2 mole cards and make a super mole. But we also have this Kingfisher, which could be really helpful because having flight, he'll just always do damage to the face, and he'll pretty much like never die because he'll burrow afterwards and hide away. So not too bad. Pretty powerful, I think. It could also easily fuck me over. We'll just have to see. Okay, so we got a fan from the mole, and what the fan does is it lets you it gives all of your characters flight, so you pretty much will just do damage directly to the scale, and that is pretty powerful. So the mole can tank 2 hits from this moose buck, and I'm deciding between if I want to. Yeah, I can sacrifice the mole to put out the skink, and then I can use the skink to pull out the moose buck. But it's not super useful because he doesn't block the damage from the moose buck, and he doesn't do the damage to the opposing moose buck, so they'll pretty much follow each other around, and I'll be like 1 damage ahead. But it's kind of a little bootleg. We'll just be like trading. I don't think using the normal moose buck would work, because my guy would do 3 damage to him and then move to the side, and then I would take 3 damage like that. So I feel like I kind of needed to do damage directly to the scale. We're in kind of a shitty position. I mean, we're even in damage right now, but I really need something to sacrifice because we're kind of like, we're gonna start bleeding once that elk fawn is online. So we at least need to survive 1 more turn, which we can. But now we're gonna take a lot of damage, and it's gonna go into our side. If we draw another squirrel, we can sacrifice our current moose buck for the double hit, which might be helpful. But we could also bank on drawing something else. I don't really know what else I have though, so it only really makes sense to draw a squirrel here. And then I have to figure out where I would even place that moose buck. I'm calculating right now if I can survive another turn or not. Let's see, 2, so 5. So 5 v4, or 5 or 6 v4. They'll do 6 damage, so I'll still be okay. And then boom, boom. I don't have to sacrifice my moose buck, and I could put him right here, and it should be okay because we do 4 damage and then we only take 3. Oh, we don't even take any damage actually. So this should just be lethal because we do 4 plus 5 to the diagonal right. So that'll be... Oh shit, I totally forgot about the mole, but it fortunately didn't matter. That was kind of a barn burner. What do we have? Do we have anything that would benefit from these sigils? Not really. Let's reroll. Mantis again. We could put it on like a fucking... Could put it on the other... Oh wait, no. We put the Kingfisher sigils on the other moose buck. I forgot. Oh wait, no. We do have a moose buck that isn't covered with anything. But he kind of already moves to the right, so pronghorn isn't that useful. But we'll take the mantis, because we can put the mantis on the snake. And then the snake will insta-kill the things to the diagonal left and the diagonal right. We're going to take Frozen Possum. That's like a blocker. And then the Hourglass, that skips the enemy's turn. So... yeah, I guess it makes more sense to it makes more sense to sacrifice. I want to look at what cards I currently have, because like I want to power up the Moose Buck, because that was kind of like our niche, but we already have so much damage that having Touch of Death doesn't really benefit anything, and we already have the Mantis sigil. Like we can make two, and it might turn it into like triple hit or something, but I think this makes more sense. But in retrospect, it would have made more sense for me to do it the other way, because the Mantis is only 1 cost and the Adder is a 2 cost. This is post commentary, by the way. that was a misplay on my part. I should have gave the Touch of Death to the Mantis, because they had the same stat line of 1/1, and the only reason the Adder is more expensive is because Touch of Death is a more valuable sigil. Okay, so this is the this is the Trapper. Who is the other fight? The Prospector? Okay, so we can put the Mole here, and he'll be 1 health, and then we can sacrifice him for probably the Moose Buck, because he'll destroy the frogs and then he'll move over, so he can wipe out all of the frogs so we don't take any damage, but then we still have to deal with the traps that are left behind, and we also have to not die. And you'll see I have 2 skinks in my inventory. One of them is the Mole Man pretending to be a skink, but I guess it doesn't really matter which one I pull. Fortunately, I pulled the real skink. So we'll do 1 damage to the trap, and then we'll make the wriggling tail. And then this, okay, I actually forgot the Moose Buck. We'll push the skink to the side. We'll probably sacrifice the skink, because, I don't know. I guess it makes more sense to just let it die. And then the Moose Buck can go over and do damage to the face. Or not, because the rabbit is fucking blocking it like a cock. We're gonna do 4 damage. I forgot the rabbit actually doesn't block anything, because it doesn't have, because I have flight on that card. I guess the best move is to just send it. Get 4 damage going. He's gonna die to the trap. There's not really a whole lot I can do about that. Ejirek. The sigil on him is that if there's a card across from him that is going to hit him specifically, they will not attack. So cards like this Moose Buck that has like the diagonal hits can still attack that guy. And same with there's a sigil that's like Porcupine, where he's spiky and he'll do like retaliation damage to any card that hits him, so they would trade. So yeah, his gimmick is he lays out the traps that will insta kill your characters, and then he'll give you wolf pelts for them, and then you trade the pelts 4 cards, and then everything that doesn't get traded, you have to fight them. So I'm not too worried about the right column because Ijarak will prevent them from attacking at all. Touch of Death Frog could be annoying. We could potentially do something interesting with the Mirror Tentacle, because what it does is it emulates the effect, or it emulates the damage number of the card across from it. So it could be interesting. We're also kind of considering the fact that we have the, what's it called, the moose buck that hits diagonal. We kind of want to play him in the second position on our board. So I was kind of worried about the frog, because we wouldn't be able to attack the frog since he's got diagonal hit, and it would just insta kill my guy, which would really mega blow. But I think we just kind of insta win here. Yeah, I could actually put it in the third position and then allow Ijarak, the cursed mole man, to do an attack of his own. So we'll do 5 damage to the diagonal left on that moose buck, and then Ijarak will do 4 damage. What's up? Willie, you wanna go outside? I don't remember what was happening. Oh, we win. I'm the best. Willie threw up, so I had to let him outside and clean up the throw up. Wasn't too bad though. We win. What do we have? I guess Ouroboros would probably be the best pick, because maybe we'll make the moose buck just invincible. We can put that sigil on him, so when he dies, he's returned to our hand and we can play him again. The only problem is the cost of that is still quite pricey. I don't really know what I'm looking for at this point. I don't know why I'm in that. I guess I'm just looking at what I have already. I gotta like burp. What do we have? A skink? We have a skink already. We might be able to do something interesting. We could put the Ouroboros on the skink, so if we get a wriggling tail, that is a so the tail will have unkillable and also the sacrifice. So we could just keep playing the wriggling tail over and over and just have a free a 0 cost like big sacrifice card. So I think that's what we're gonna do. I don't really know. I kind of don't want more cards in this deck. I kind of feel like we're a bit over capacity. So I'm going to show you a cheat code. We just go to the start screen, continue run, and then we go back and we can pick again. So we can now power up a card instead, because that makes more sense to do. We'll make the moose buck stronger so that it's not as detrimental when he can't block damage, because he can just deal out that damage. Now we have to do like a totem fight, which these get pretty annoying. Snakes that evolve. Okay. What are we cooking with? We have a mole, we have an adder, and a moose buck. It's not the sacrifice mole, so we can get another item, but we already are at 3 items, so we'd have to use the frozen possum, probably in front of the rattler. That would make the most sense to me. And then we can block with the mole and see what we get. Okay, we have 2 fans, so we have flight. But the problem is that we can't sacrifice the frozen possum. We have to have it get defrosted. But I feel like I don't know. I don't know if we have the time. I think if we just pass, the mole should be able to take one more hit from the bullfrog. Oh, the alpha comes in. Oh god. Okay. God. This is ugly. I think I just kind of die here. I don't know if I can do anything about the rattler. Because I'd have to sacrifice the opossum as well to put out the big moose buck. And then I'd be taking 4 damage regardless, even if I kill the alpha and block the block the thing. Maybe he has the push signal. He might be able to push the stump in front of the rattler and save the day. But if I just do this, I totally forgot I have fans. I could just use that and just do 10 damage straight up. I guess we'll go here. We can potentially get a really cool card. I always like doing the trials, to be honest. Hard sigils. All of our cards still have sigils, so sigils just makes the most sense. Even though I'm sure we would pass the health one. We got some tanky boys. The Warren. That's actually like an absurdly bad card. I like the rabbit hole power. And the rattler doesn't make sense to have burrower because he only has 1 health. So I guess the grizzly makes the most sense. It's not an amazing card, really. The bone sigil is pretty useless. But alright, let's make our unkillable skink. We haven't found any of the mushrooms. Okay, there's a mushroom up ahead, but we actually haven't found any way to combine our cards yet. It's actually really bad. really rough. We could put the mole down and get another card. That'd be good. Okay, we get to skip their turn again. That's not bad. So you can only survive 1. I kind of need to draw the skink, and we didn't draw the skink, so we're kind of in big trouble. We're actually like in really big trouble. We need to kind of just make them pass 2 turns in a row and draw a card both times. We have to draw squirrels both times so that we can sacrifice the mole, 2 squirrels, and then put out our moose guy. Yeah, we just have to end the turn and then yeah, we should be okay after that. We can just do this, put the moose buck. Yeah, we'll probably kill the rattler. So like boom, boom. So now we got 5 damage on the board. We'll kill the beehive. And we'll get a bee. This mole could be helpful. But we can eat, what, 2 damage? Oh, cool. We actually got overflow damage on the, what's it called? The rattler behind it. That's actually really nice. So we have the bee that we can sacrifice. I don't know if we want to draw a squirrel or a card. Okay. We drew the card. We can do so bee into mole into I don't know what moose I want to take. Probably, I don't know. I want to min-max as much damage as I can. We also have the grizzly. The grizzly can also hit 2 spaces at once. The grizzly is actually not a bad choice here. So I mean, it starts with the B, that's for sure. And then it goes to the mole, and then we have like 3 like very viable options. So, we'll do the grizzly, because that's a potential 8 damage. You know? Grizzly makes sense to me. Boom. Oh, it has Touch of Death and it has the spikes. Okay, I really did not think that far ahead. I think in retrospect, playing the underwater moose buck would have been the right play, but we kind of just lose. I kind of just really had no idea that interaction worked like that. It makes sense when you think about it, but I didn't have any idea. So that's our 1 life. And if we lose another life, then we're done. So okay, so now we can combine cards here. We have our super meese, and we have our skinks, and we have moles as well. Drawing the mole with without the sacrifice sigils kind of really sucks. I kind of want to condense. I really want to condense my hand so I get more valuable cards more often. I think I don't know. I don't know what I want to do, because the skink, unkillable skink with sacrifice would probably be really valuable. That makes the most sense. That'd be like our engine to like power up this run and keep summoning great cards. But I do kind of want to make the mole suck a lot less, because I guess having more Mises is not so bad if we have a way to continue summoning them, you know. So I think combining our mooses is pretty lower. It is lower than getting rid of the shit mole card, because that mole card is like, I really don't want to draw it. So now we have stinky reptiles. So cards across from the reptile will deal 1 less damage. So this is a good opportunity, because the bullfrog will only do 1 damage. And now that they're combined, the tail has a lot more health, which is actually kind of crazy. And now we can just keep sacrificing for we can keep sacrificing the tail. We get the tail back. It's a 0 cost 3 sacrifice card, which is exactly what we want. Kill the rattler, whatever's behind that, and the stump, and then we'll push the skink over. We could honestly like sacrifice the skink, get it back, and then potentially like just re-put it out there so it has the tail power and the like full health. It's kind of like very extra. We can pretty much cover the whole map with moose bucks and our big guys. But I kind of want to have as much overflow damage as possible so I can get as much money as possible, because I'm greedy. So we can put the moose buck. Which one though? Well, which one and where will we place it? I wonder. We'll put default 1. Never mind. I have no idea what I'm doing. What will I choose? I don't remember what I did. We can put the normal moose buck in front of the alpha and it'll kill the 2 things in that lane. And then we could put the normal moose buck where the skink is currently, and it'll kill the frog and whatever's behind it. Oh shit, that was actually that's actually fine. It's not a big deal that that guy is that. And then we can do this and Now our skink is full health. It really didn't matter that much. But now we will do 6 plus 5 damage directly. Oh, and 2 from the skink. Okay, that's a lot of shmoney. We shmoneyed up. We're really like fishing for like couch change. Like we kind of don't need all that money, but it could help. We'll take the reptiles. Oh, River Snapper actually sucks so bad. Like if I could have had the choice to just not draw a card, I would have not drawn one. River Snapper is actually a terrible card. Like, what if we need a Moose Buck and we just get the shitty River Snapper? I feel like in this game, having more health is not as valuable as having more damage. So, yeah, having a 1/6, I think the River Snapper is, it's not that valuable. But we're combining our moles so that we have less shit cards that we can draw. And, you know, maybe it'll be helpful. I don't know. What can we even combine here? Moose Buck? River Snapper? That's such a downgrade. But I don't actually have a choice. I have to put the Moose Buck on the River Snapper. Dude, that's so fucking shit. That sucks so bad. But now we're fighting the boss. I think this is the Angler? Fisherman? Yeah, this is the Fisherman. Okay, this shouldn't be too bad. We have our mole. It's a good thing we combined our mole cards. We can put it down and see what we'll get, what item we'll get. We currently have a fan, so we could pop the fan with the Grizzly and do straight up 8 damage, which will put us in the next phase. We also have a Frozen Possum, which could block, I believe sharks. Yeah, there's a bunch of sharks. If you destroy the bait bucket, sharks will spawn. So, where do we want to put the Grizzly? Because the sharks will go back underwater after they attack. So I think putting it in the left or the right corner would be better. I'm going to put it in this left corner. That way I can kill the Raven. But yeah, so this character's gimmick is that he will steal a card. Like, whatever the last card you put down is, he will steal it. So I kind of just fucked myself, like, big time. Like, I'm actually in so much trouble right now. I don't know what I can do. I can pull the Frozen Possum and block, like, whatever's in, like, spot 2. Because the Grizzly's going to do 4 damage. And whatever the fuck else is in there is going to do 1 damage, I think. I can't tell if it has flying or not. But this is our best shot. Oh, it's a Kingfisher, so it's just gonna go straight for my fucking throat. I'm gonna show you a trick. I think I misplayed, so I can just kind of go back and retry. Kind of scummy, kind of grimy of me. Not my proudest moment. But if I just played like the Frozen Possum or like a squirrel or something and not let them take my grizzly bear, we probably would have been fine. So let's kind of retrace our steps. We will probably get another, I forget what we got. Oh yeah, we got the Frozen Possum. So we put a squirrel down, put the mole down, Frozen Possum acquired, put the grizzly bear back in the same spot. We should be okay. 4 damage. Take 2. Draw a squirrel. We'll probably put it in position 3. That way we can block the shark that spawned. Because they can't move forward if there's a card in that spot. So we'll put it there and stop the shark from killing us. Oh, that works as well. He just killed it. That's fine. We only need 4 damage to go to the next phase anyway, so it's not even a big deal. Go fish. Okay, well we just attack to the side of it. I'm not worried. Okay, we can play the skink here. Invincible skink. I think the tail will die. Oh, we just do 6 damage, I forgot. Okay, well, that's fine. We didn't even need to stall the shark. I thought it would take another turn, but I forgot that the skink does 2 damage. I was more worried about how much it can block. Gek, Larva, the Douse. We'll take Gek because Gek is only... It has no cost at all. So it's could also be fuel for like a if we need to play like a skink or something. We have 2 items. We have 2 items already, so going to the item is not that helpful. We don't really have anything we can combine, so going to like the rune on the left is not that helpful. We kind of don't want to bloat up our deck, so we kind of don't want to buy any cards, so I guess we'll go to the totem place, even though I don't think we can even do anything with any totems. Rabbit hole. Playing a card with the sigil, a rabbit is spawned. It's pretty much just a squirrel. Could be helpful, but I don't think we have any cards that can proc this, so I don't think it really matters. So now we're fighting the big boss. I'm gonna take a sip of stuff. Two flames will not suffice this time. That's fucked up, Leshy. So now this is like a combination of all the boss fights before. We kind of want to take damage from the amalgam, because he'll do 3 damage, and our tail and skink can take 4. But the mole man is gonna block it. I don't really know if there's anything we can do about it, to be honest. We do want the skink online though, so I guess we'll just kind of let it ball. Okay, he has the hammer in hand, so he's going to destroy whatever card is in front of him. If it's just the skink, it doesn't matter, because the skink will just the skink will just respawn in our hand. So we'll only take okay. We actually don't even take any damage because the mantis goes forward and just hits the gold nugget. So we're okay at the moment. We can draw another squirrel. And now we have a bunch of amalgams that we can deal with. The mole man will move over to block our skink, but he'll die because he only has 2 health and we have 2 damage. And we can also, I guess we could probably pull up the mole. Or we can just spawn another skink. Yeah, actually this is a way better idea. Yeah. Now we have the moose buck going. Oh, shit. He just one-shot the face because he has 6 damage. I forgot. And 6 damage is all it takes. Damn. Oh shit. I guess we'll put the grizzly in this spot, and then we kind of just don't even play this phase at all. And we just go straight to the last phase, where Leshy goes behind him, takes a picture of the moon, and then he plays the moon as his card. So we can sacrifice the smoke and play the skink, and then but we don't have any room to play. We don't have any room for the tail to move. I guess once the gold nugget dies, it should be okay, I think. So yeah, we can play the smoke and then Skink it up. Boom, 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 boom. And now there's room to the side. There we go. Now our wriggling tail is in play. We don't really have anything that we can really do with it. I mean, I guess like we could sacrifice the tail for the adder, because that's like 2 damage. Oh, what do we get? Frozen possum? Whatever. Whatever. We'll just sacrifice the mole, because we don't even really need the mole anymore. Okay, I guess that's the maximum amount of damage we could do right now. And he's just fucking dead. Now we kill Leshy. Let's see, we can do more damage? Yes sir, we can do more damage. We just have to sacrifice the adder. I think if we sacrifice God. Yeah, we'll sacrifice the skink and then replace the adder with the skink, because they both do 2 damage anyway. This really doesn't matter. It's not like you gain anything from doing overflow damage, because the run is over. But yeah, that's what, act 3? Well, not act. That's like single player. That's the 3rd one. Third challenge run. Now we're on to the 4th. That's a wrap. It's a wrap, folks. This is a little lore entry for the folks at home. But yeah, that's that. Thanks for watching the Danganronpa talent plan. Oh, cool. We got some more cards. That's actually really hype. Flying ant, mud turtle. First time it'll take damage, it doesn't. And we got a new deck. What is this? A fucking ant deck? Interesting. All battles are totem battles? Fuck that shit. Fuck totem battles.